So, my name is Skylagra, and I just really, before I perform, I want to say I really love being in a space where we're all just artists expressing ourselves, because this world is so harsh, and I feel like artists see things from a different perspective, so it's nice to be able to unite and like feel that deep feeling together, you know? Okay, so, anyways, so I have like 3 little pieces for you today, and it's kind of like, if my life were a flip book, it's like 3 small pages out of it, sort of out of order, but like they paint a little bit of a picture. So I'm gonna start with the darkest one, because things can only get better from there. All right, so this is called, Has the Jury of My Peers Reached a Verdict? Mommy said don't shoot heroin, and inside my chest my soot-colored heart, or what's left of it, cracks a little more. I wonder if I should tell her that I need the medicine, keep from dry leaving my soul. Though truth be told, I am sickly, rapidly dying in every way. I remember the Just Say No campaign during school years with single-digit grades. We wore costumes, we're told fables. Kids, if they've got poppers, keep your hands up off the table. My eyes were shiny then, glistening with the promise I'd made to never drink the spiked Kool-Aid, to never toss about a pharmacist's so deadly hand grenade. Sadly, that shine soon evolved to sweaty, glassy skin, and the devil told me was beautiful as I tied the tourniquet again, bruising my once supple island skin. The late love of my life once stressed to me the true meaning of the word promise, that it is binding, irrevocable, finite, and thrown around too easily. She tied her red hair behind her head, looked at me, and simply said, when you make your promise, you sign an intangible contract, and like all contracts, should you break your promises, there are consequences and chaos that will ensue. I broke many promises to her, to all of you, and I'm sorry about that, but it's over now. Finite, good night, baby girl, irrevocable, just like you said. While her case is closed, I am drowning in clauses, following the many, many contracts I have deemed null and void amidst my tangled trapeze act. Swing once, the earth, dry herbs can't hurt. Swing twice, solidified chemicals legally fed to the disturbed. Swing a third or 4th time, and my palms are slipping, they're turning red. Never again, little friend, they all said, oh, how I love the thrill. But even fools knew, silly amateurs lack the skill to distinguish lion tamers from the animals themselves. Excuse my switching metaphor, legal talk to circus talk, sticky candy popcorn, elephants and peanuts. Spectators gathered round my adolescence to watch the shooting star turn into a crack whore. You were meant for something more. We found you passed out on the floor when the police broke down the door. The reds and blues were nothing like the circus. And no, mommy screams, don't shoot heroin. And my sister, my best friend, is dead, and I am crawling out of my skin. Given another chance, I don't know if I would swing again. God, I hope I would never swing again. Woo! Yeah, so like I said at the start, I went through a lot in my life, but I just like to think of it as lessons, and like if I had to go through something bad, then it's like not for nothing, because I could help someone else, you know? My path was never going to be easy. Now, this is one that I wrote when I was actually 17. It's a lot more hopeful, and I kind of wanted to do it after because it shows like someone who I really am before the fall, and it shows who I can develop back into being, or even better. So this one is called In the Back of the Bulb. Sorry, I was a lot of breath, I screamed. Okay. When I was very young, my mother used to, I'm so sorry. When I was very young, I would beg my mother to take me outside long after the stars had set, long after the sun had set, so that I could see the stars. I said to her that the twilight was a jewel bank, and that the difference between the stars and the moon was that those diamonds had already been cut, wished upon and worn and sold. That's why they shoot across and they shine. But the moon stayed pure, and the moon was full, and most of all, the moon was mine. I begged her to let me see it. I wanted to watch it every second before the eclipse, because when the moon went away, I didn't know if it was coming back, and I'd stay awake and count the days, praying to every god of hope that someone somewhere far away hadn't found my uncut magic and kept it for themselves. My mother was also very wise, so one day she sat me down and warned that I had moon-ringed eyes. She said how some souls are born here on earth where they don't belong, so they cast their shiny eyes upward and hum a melancholy song. Special hearts gaze too long, and that glowing orb sears a scar around their irises like cold water does on wood. She said I must find my dance partners, for within our strange unity we find an essential sort of ecstasy that erases all those years of loneliness we have spent waiting for the moon. We will dance until our feet fall off so that our wings may finally grow, and the love we did not seek for so long will surround us in a cloud of song. Our eyes are echoes of the wonderful mysteries we were too busy staring up the light of hope to ever notice. My mother stressed that I must never forget how magical I truly am, because the stars may shine brighter and longer and ever more completely, but that the uncut diamond is the most valuable gem. And then I really am like an amateur singer. Like, I don't think I'm good at all, but I do like write little stuff. So like I've never actually performed this in front of people, but people that I like sing it to privately do kind of call it a bop. And I promise I'll be done after this, but this is called the Pixies Reparations. So take your karma and take what you did to me. Eat it, take your karma. Maybe it's time for you to beat it. You told me I was Tinkerbell trying to kill Wendy, when last week I was Wendy. Well, Peter should have been Lyle the Tinkerbell. Peter should have been Lyle the Tinkerbell. Peter should have been. Peter should have been. Should have been. Why doesn't Peter have any faults? Why does Peter think that he can have it all? I guess that's the reason that they say he's a child forever, he's a child forever, he's a child forever and ever. You told me I was Tinkerbell trying to kill Wendy, when last week I was Wendy. Well, Peter should have been Lyle the Tinkerbell. Peter should have been Lyle the Tinkerbell. Peter should have been. Peter should have been. Should have been. Should have been. He needs her to fly. Without her, he'd surely crash and die. Now you better look me in the eye and say, you're not a selfish redhead with a hat dancing between this and that. You'll never get my magic back, never get my magic back. Tell me you don't miss Tinkerbell while you fly up there with Wendy. But how is that fair to Wendy? Well, I think that Peter should have ended up all alone. I think that Peter should have ended up all alone. I guess that's the reason that they call Neverland his home. Peter Pussy Eater, how could you think that you could defeat her? She's a fucking pixie and you're just a boy. I think you're confused as to who is the toy. She was born here in the land of dreams, and you only got to meet her after your world burst at the seams. So go R.E.M., fluttery eyes, open your pockets, and I'm not surprised. How could you steal the fairy dust from Tinkerbell, from Tinkerbell? How could you steal the fairy dust from Tinkerbell, from Tinkerbell? Peter Pan, go rot in hell, go rot in hell, go rot in hell. Peter Pan, go rot in hell. Thank you guys. I really appreciate you listening. It was like my first time performing in a really long time, so it was really fulfilling because, yeah.